This is 180 Conversations with tens of millions of LinkedIn invites, emails going out each and every single week. What are you doing to sound different? It's all about engaging your prospects. But to engage your prospects, you're going to have to think different and you're going to have to sound different. Let's go.
So Dan, normally we would have a 180 conversation for our listeners. We're going to switch things up and do it a little bit differently this time around. What do you want to talk about today?
Good question, Kylie. There's a lot on my mind. So lately I've been thinking about imposter syndrome. I've been thinking about loss aversion. I've been thinking about immediate gratification, different things like that, and how they impact our mindset and our approach in our conversations. I'm going to give a golf analogy. Golf has become one of my hobbies. I love being outside. I love the camaraderie. And I love the mental challenge of the game, especially when you're kind of playing in some kind of competitive environment. I'm standing over a putt, and I love putting. Putting is one of my favorite things because it takes focus, takes concentration. But as I'm standing over the putt, I have to back away because I can tell my head's not there. I'm starting to feel the pressure of the situation. My partner and I have won 4 or 5 matches in a row since the beginning of the summer against really good golfers. We're in the semifinals, and I'm standing over this putt, and I'm starting to feel jittery. I step away. I try to do a few quick breathing exercises where I just try to calm my nerves with some deep breaths. I try to visualize the putt. And as I'm trying to visualize the putt, I'm having a struggle visualizing it. I stand over the putt, still trying to calm myself down, but I can feel the gnaw of don't miss it, don't miss it. And sure enough, I putt and I missed it. That experience got me thinking about sales, on how too often, if we're not careful, we have this bias that you and I have talked about called loss aversion. In that moment over the putt, I was not thinking about sinking it for the win. I was unfortunately in the mindset of worrying about don't miss it, because if I miss it, we may lose. And I think that reflects on one of the top skills that we have to get really good at in sales, which is asking meaningful questions, right? You're in the moment with that prospect and you know there's a question you want to ask. It's an important one, but you also understand that that question may cause your prospect some tension. It may cause your prospect some conflict. And so you sit and you debate. And in your head, what do you debate? Do you debate, well, if I ask this and they don't understand what I'm asking and they don't understand why I'm asking, or they misinterpret why I'm asking, I might risk upsetting them and making them mad. And then they're not going to like me. And if they don't like me, there's a strong chance they won't want to talk again. That's loss aversion. While you're in a sales call, trying to have a good conversation with a prospect.
It reminds me of this quote that I heard about worry, and it stuck with me. Worrying is like walking around with an umbrella waiting for it to rain.
100%. But, I looked up the definition of loss aversion, and here's what I came up with that I liked. Loss aversion is a cognitive bias that describes why the pain of losing is psychologically twice as painful as the pleasure of winning or gaining. As a sales professional, it's really important for you to prime your mindset so that your mind is focused on the positives, and the positives are best defined as, can you have a conversation with your prospect that includes honesty and vulnerability from the prospect, and you're spending most of your time listening and learning. You're not spending your time talking and proving. The focus has to be on listening and learning. And when we have loss aversion, I think what happens is we default to telling, proving, pitching, and presenting our expertise because it's that moment we feel like we're in control of something. But yet, how often when you pitch, present, or try to prove your expertise, do you truly ever win the deal? And as you know, we talk about here all the time, Kylie, 2 out of 10 prospects have already thought about change before any of us ever show up. So you can get away with pitching, presenting, and proving on the 2 out of 10. You can actually get away with a mindset of loss aversion on the 2 out of 10 because they've already thought through their own biases and their own fear of mistakes, and they've already come to the conclusion they've got to do something different. The challenge is it never works and it will not work for the 8 out of 10. And how many out of those 8 out of 10 should make a change, would benefit from a change? It's probably realistically somewhere between 2 and 4 out of the other 8 should make a change. But you can't and you won't connect with those prospects if you have a lost aversion mindset. It won't happen. Now, fortunately for me on my story, when I got to 17, I was able to detach and I said, you know what, win or lose, commit to the swing. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Just put a good swing on the ball. And my partner and I played really well 17 and 18, and we pushed the match to extra holes.
Did you win?
No, we ran out of time, darkness.
Ugh.
Yeah, so the struggle continues.
If you're ready to get uncomfortable and level up to high performer status, find out how you can change the conversation by sending us your sales outreach via email or voice recording at podcast@lapin180.com. We're going to anonymously share these with our listeners and offer feedback for you.